Hello and welcome to Basics for Success. I want to thank you for joining us. Before we jump into the near miss of the U.S. dollar crash in May 2009, we have a quick risk disclaimer and disclosure that we need to go through. If you go any further in this video, we assume that you will stop the video and read through each page individually. Thank you very much.
Very superficial, whitewash on your wall. Very superficial, letter of the law. There's too much obeying, no one's looking past.
All right, Dr. Daniel Daves here. I want to thank you for joining us. Let's take a quick look at the United States dollar versus Canadian dollar. We're looking at a weekly chart right now, candlestick chart. And without going into detail on how we trade and how we do technical analytics, we do have a very powerful system. I want to just kind of remind you, since this is a weekly chart, what you're looking at right here at the arrow where we had 4 straight solid massive weeks straight up on the U.S. dollar, where it increased in value tremendously. This happened literally at the time when the big bailout happened in Washington. It's the craziest thing you ever heard of. Now, if you took a glass full of Coca-Cola, let's say it's only half full of Coca-Cola, and I can sell that half full glass for 50 cents. If I double the supply in this glass, but I only add water to it, so I've watered it down by 50%, can I sell the glass of Coca-Cola for $1? Absolutely not. You've really ruined its value. But that's exactly what's happened. We've doubled our money supply in the last in the last 8 months. The money supply is double. Unbelievable. And yet the US dollar shot up in value the moment that they signed the bailout funds. Now, I don't know what Canada did against the U.S. I think it's actually what the U.S. did against Canada. But when we inflated our dollars with what the Fed's doing, the trillions the Fed is leaking out, plus the 800 and some billion that the Congress signed, we inflated our dollar rather than making it more valuable. So I consider this personally a totally false move. However, because we trade with giants, we move with the giants, and whether it's false or not, we're trading with them until further notice. However, I just don't believe in it at all. One thing that also happened is when this thing crashed up like this, moved up, that set aside that this will continue to move up, 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 and break new highs until it begins to break through support. Giants love support. When support hits, they grab it and run it back up. Support hits, they grab it and run back up. And here's the last realm of support, and their goal is to run that up and break new highs. Okay, so here's the deal. The U.S. dollar has come down for quite a few weeks, and this week it came down to the last line of support, the very last line. And at this line, at $1.15, watch that number right there at the $1.15 area. At this line, this was what we call the last of the Mohican stand for the buyers. If the buyers did not show up and defend this line and push this thing back up, this would have been doomsday for the U.S. dollar with very high % probability. And so we took the trade long right here, and we just had a very little risk. We took the trade right at the line, and so we are now long and free in this trade, and actually we've set our stop up over the top. So we are free in a trade that is on market money now, not our own. Our risk was limited, and now we're up in the positive, and that's good. However, according to our rules, if this would have breached down even a little bit, if it would have cracked through support, our thought would have been, why didn't the huge super mega giants with the $1 trillion bank account, why didn't they come in here and take the best deal in the planet and buy what they would consider wholesale right here at this line? Why did they let it fall under? And we don't know why, because we don't know what they're doing behind the curtain. But we do know that we can track them. And so just the fact that they did would mean X out, over. It's time to stop buying and start thinking about coming down to here. We do know this, after this hyper move that took place, it's kind of like the market got super fueled, snorted something up its nose, and now that it's moving, it will crash. It will come back. It's just a matter of time. We don't know when. Only God knows when this rhythm will end. But we do know it's up until support breaks. Once support breaks, we probably have a 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 8-week period of grace and mercy before the fall comes. So we're looking for the crack through. We're looking for failure, and you need to mark on your notes $1.15. If the U.S. dollar drops below $1.15 in the next coming few months, that will be a break of support, and it will be very, very bad for the U.S. dollar. As in right now, it's $1.17, and if this failure hits, we are looking at $1 for dollar or lower. It could easily come and break down even lower, but clearly the technical play is $1 for dollar. So that's basically a 15% drop in your money. So you go to Walmart and you go get yourself a toothbrush, and the toothbrush costs $1 today. If you go get that toothbrush, once this thing fails and falls down to the technical area, that toothbrush is going to cost you $1.17. So a $100 sack of groceries will cost you $117. That $1,000 car, I'm sorry, that $10,000 car will cost you $11,700, and so the hyperinflation begins. Hasn't happened yet, but we do know, because of the way that this moved upwards, unconstrained, that at the end, when it is tired and done, high probability for it to fall all the way back, dollar for dollar or lower. So keep your eyes out for that, and let me tell you this, because I am not an investment specialist or an advisor, and I cannot tell you or recommend to you what to do with your money or with your life, but I'll tell you what Daniel is going to do, and that is, if this cracks under or we get another fail of support at anywhere else as these candles build themselves, if that failure of support happens, I'm going to pray to God for a little bit of time, as in 2 to 6 weeks, and I'm going to be getting my rear end out of the U.S. dollar with no faith in it whatsoever any longer. So that's what I'm going to be doing, getting out of the dollar and into hard stuff. Now, you need to consider a plan of salvation for yourself, and you need to think about hard assets, gold, silver, lands, properties, something that will hold its value rather than lose it. Well, that's about all the time we've got for right now. If you need anything further, if you have any questions, email me, info@basicsforsuccess.com. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Thanks, and God bless.